On a cold, snowy day, Nuno, the little penguin with a big heart, stood on the edge of a small iceberg. His eyes gazed at the towering white mountains stretching into the sky. His heart beat with excitement, and a small voice inside him said, "You can get there, Nuno." Though small and fragile compared to the towering mountains, he held onto a big dream, one that no one else had dared to imagine before. As Nuno sat among his friends on the ice, he eagerly spoke about his dream of climbing the highest icy peak, but the response wasn't what he expected. Everyone began laughing, and one said, "Nuno, you're too small, and the mountain is too big. How can you possibly do that?" Nuno felt a sting in his heart from their words, but he reminded himself that dreams aren't easy. Despite their doubts, he resolved. That evening, Nuno decided to visit the old penguin, known for his wisdom among all. He sat before him and shared his dream and his friends' reactions. The elder listened patiently, then said in a calm voice, "Nuno, big dreams don't come true overnight. They need patience, hard work, and a good plan. Start by training on small hills, and you'll see how your strength will grow." The old penguin's word. The next morning, Nuno woke up with the first rays of sunlight. Filled with excitement, he decided to start his training on a small icy hill near the sea. He climbed slowly, but he stumbled and fell many times. With each fall he got up, brushed the ice off his feathers, and said to himself, "I'll try again." The hill seemed small, but to Nuno, it felt like a mountain. Every step was a new achievement added to his record. While Nuno was training on the hill, he was noticed by a small seal named Luna and a polar bear named Polo. They approached him and asked what he was doing. When he shared his dream, both felt inspired. They decided to join him, saying, "Together, we'll be stronger." Luna began offering tips on moving smoothly over the ice while Polo helped him carry heavy loads. With his new friends, Nuno felt stronger and more confident. As the silver moonlight shone on the ice, Nuno and his friends began their nightly training. The hills were bigger and more challenging, but they didn't give up. The sound of their steps echoed in the quiet night, and whenever Nuno stumbled, Luna cheered him on with warm words, while Polo extended his strong hand to help him up. Nuno began to feel that the dream was no longer just an idea in his mind, but a clear goal getting closer with every step he took. On an intensely cold day, a sudden snowstorm swept through the area, carrying strong winds and heavy snow. Training became incredibly difficult, but Nuno and his friends didn't back down. They moved with difficulty against the raging winds, while Luna lifted their spirits by reminding them of what awaited at the mountain's peak. Despite their frozen feathers and frost-covered bodies, their determination grew stronger. That day, Nuno learned that storms are just part of the journey toward achieving dreams. After weeks of effort and hard work, Nuno and his friends finally reached a small peak. As they stood there, the view was breathtaking, and their hearts were filled with joy. Nuno looked at the horizon and said excitedly, "This is just the beginning." This small achievement became a huge motivation for him to continue his path toward his big dream. He knew that every step brought him closer to the peak he had always dreamed of. The news of Nuno's small achievement spread among the penguins in the colony, becoming the talk of the community. Penguins came one by one to encourage and congratulate him. They offered him food and support, saying, "We believe in you, Nuno." Nuno felt the warmth of the community around him and realized that success isn't just an individual accomplishment but a joy shared by everyone.
As the time for the greatest challenge approached, Nuno and his team began preparing for the long journey. They gathered the necessary gear, including sturdy ropes and sharp tools, and made sure they had enough food and water. The atmosphere was filled with excitement and tension, but the looks exchanged between friends were full of confidence. They knew this journey would be the toughest challenge they'd ever faced, but it would also be the greatest achievement. With the dawn of a new sun, Nuno and his team set off on their grand journey. The air was freezing, and the snowfields stretched endlessly. Yet, every step they took was filled with determination and hope. The sound of their footsteps melted into the silence of nature, and their eyes sparkled with passion. The path wasn't easy, but they knew that every hardship brought them closer to the peak. These were moments at Nuno and his friends reached a dangerous slope where the ice was slippery and the wind struck them fiercely. They paused for a moment, exchanging looks and confirming their plan. Polo went first, securing the ropes tightly, while Luna encouraged the rest with her bright laughter. When it was Nuno's turn, he hesitated for a moment, but the voices of his friends supported him. With difficulty and courage, they all managed to cross. As night fell, Nuno and his friends stopped to set up camp. They lit a small fire to warm themselves and sat close together around it. Polo spoke about his previous journeys, while Luna shared her future dreams. Nuno, gazing at the stars, said, "These stars remind me of the peak we're aiming for." At that moment, everyone felt connected, realizing that this journey was not just an adventure but as a new sun rose, the view they had been eagerly awaiting appeared. The peak, towering and majestic, loomed on the horizon. It was distant but clear, as if calling to them. A feeling of excitement and awe filled their hearts. Nuno smiled widely and said, "We are so close." In that moment, their determination to move forward and achieve the dream that once seemed impossible grew even stronger. Finally, after a long journey full of challenges, Nuno and his friends reached the peak. They stood there, embraced by the cold wind, looking out at the world around them. The views were mesmerizing, and the feeling of victory was indescribable. Nuno spread his wings and said proudly, "We did it." The team celebrated the grand achievement, remembering every moment of their journey and every challenge they overcame.